Hey everybody, it's Chris Eads, known online as Wootini, here with another gay gamer video podcast. This week, I want to talk about Sony PlayStation VR, because Sony announced that they are re-releasing the bundles, because there was a launch bundle, but that went quick, and then there was just the headset. And the problem is that you kind of need the camera and also the motion controllers, and you know, you want that PSVR VR Worlds disc. It's not a demo disc. It's an extra game. But like, you want those things. So the bundle is an extra $100, but it's kind of worth it, because if you were to buy the $400 set that just has the headset, then to buy the other pieces that are in the bundle, the bundle's an extra $100, but to buy all the extra pieces that are in that bundle would actually cost you $200 if you bought them all separately. It's kind of absurd. So the bundle's the way to go. So when they announced that they were going to be putting out the bundle again, I was like, okay. Now, I don't want the GameStop bundle. That's the one that comes with Until Dawn Rush of Blood. I wanted the VR Worlds game, because I like to have this. I like the assortment, the idea that it's a little of everything. And I can get Until Dawn Rush of Blood later if I want. So a friend of mine had told me that he and a friend had checked out PSVR at the Sony Experience, which is like, it's in the Sony building located next to Madison Square Park in Manhattan. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go and check that out. So I had a day off work, so I went in the city, and I went and checked it out. And I said, hi, I'd like to demo the PlayStation VR. And they're like, certainly, have a seat. And it was great, because there was like nobody else in there. It was perfect. Because you can't demo it at like Best Buy or GameStop or anywhere like that. So this was the only way. And before I'm going to drop like $500 on something, I kind of want to make sure that it's going to be worth it. I mean, I was pretty sure I was going to love it. But that's a lot of money. So I wanted to be like really sure that this was going to be worth it. So I sat down, and he was like, okay, so what kind of a gamer are you? And I was like, well, I have all the systems, I play all kinds of different games, whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm going to show you this. And he demoed the London Heist for me, which is, well, one of the scenes where you're in a car, you're the passenger, and the guy driving is next to you, and you are sitting there, and like guys on motorcycles and in cars are coming by, and they're all shooting at you, and you have an Uzi, and you have to shoot them all. And it was incredible. Like, using the Move controllers to like pick up the soda cup, and then like put it down, and then I open the door. He's like, open the door and look out. And you open the door, and then you look out behind you, and you can see like the road going by underneath you, and disappearing in the background. And it's like, it's so immersive, and it's so real, honestly. And then the shooting was so much fun, and you're like shooting at them, and you'd run out of ammo, so you'd grab another clip, slap it in, and you're literally going like this with the Move controllers, you know. And it was incredible. So I was blown away. And I was like, yep, this is something I want. Thankfully he didn't try to sell me it there, because I wanted to get it at Best Buy, because I can get rewards points and stuff. But I think they do sell it there, but he wasn't like trying to sell me that. He did then make me listen to this whole spiel about their intelligent home thing with this little cube that can project TV on the wall, and their light bulb speakers and whatever. So I kind of had to sit through that and then fill out a little survey. But it was worth it just to get a chance to check out the PSVR. And unfortunately, when I checked Best Buys, nobody had them. There were like less than 3 available at some Best Buy somewhere in Brooklyn, which in an area I don't even know where it is. So I was like, oh well. And then later that night, I checked again, and they were like available nowhere, so those 3 were gone. Because it said that the bundle had been released on February 10th. And I was like, and it was already, what, 11, 12, it was the 13th. So I was like, already this weekend they've basically sold out of them. So I was like, this is annoying. And I didn't know if this bundle was going to be like an ongoing thing, or if it was like the launch bundle, they're like, here's another set of bundles, after which you're on your own. But I did notice that it was available online for ordering for delivery, even though it wasn't available for in-store pickup, because no stores had it. So, I splurged. I got myself a Sony PSVR. Because I had a bonus check from work that pretty much covered the cost of it, and I needed something to cheer me up, so I thought, a little retail therapy, I will buy myself a virtual reality experience that will take me away from all of this. And it arrived a couple of days later, and it was amazing. I will say, now that I've spent some time with it, my initial thing, like, when I demoed it, I was like, okay, I see what people were talking about, where it, like, sort of looks like there's, like, a thin, like, you're looking at everything through, like, a thin layer of mesh. It's like you can see all the pixels. So it's sort of a little bit, like, grainy looking sometimes. But I found, like, once I was actually in the game and playing and doing things, you're not noticing that kind of pixely grain as much anymore. Because it basically looks like when you're looking really, really close at a TV and you can see all the individual pixels. Because basically that's what you're doing. When you have the headset on, you have a TV over each eye that's, like, basically, like, right in front of you. But the headset, now that I've spent some time with it, the only other problem that I have with it so far is that it gets a little warm. So I find if I play it for, like, a prolonged period of time, like half hour, 45 minutes, by the end of it, like, I'm a little sweaty on the forehead and I've got to wipe it down a little, because the TV, the monitors, you know, in the headset, they get a little warm, and, you know, it's just also, like, you know, moving around, and like, I just found myself sweating. But it was just, like, super fun. I basically, because the bundle came with the demo disc and the VR worlds, I haven't really explored the demo disc that much. I did play Rez, because everybody raved about it. I'm not big on shooters, but it was pretty cool. I mean, it was wild. It might be something I'd get, just because it's a really cool game to play with the VR headset on. But I was mostly exploring VR worlds. I still need to check out some of the rest of those demos. But, like, you know, I wanted to do, like, the underwater dives with the fish, and the shark attack, which was super awesome. It was also really funny because my husband was like, yeah, I'll try it eventually. And a few days later, over the weekend, we watched The Shallows, where Blake Lively is terrorized on a reef by a vicious killer shark. So after we finished that, I was like, you know what? I want you to try the PSVR. And I did the ocean dive with the shark attack. And he was terrified of the manta rays, so I knew that when the shark actually came, he was just going to wet himself. And it was hilarious to watch him sitting there on the couch going like this and being like, "Wah!" And I mean, I did the same thing when I played it. So I've been exploring that, and, you know, they're sort of games, but they're very, like, demo-y games. I haven't played any more of the London Heist, unfortunately. But what I did get was Batman Arkham VR, because everybody raved about that and said how amazing it is. So I made sure to pick that up. And I actually played through the whole thing in one sitting, because they don't give you, like, little breaks. I thought there might be, like, little breaks where it would be like, okay, now try this. You're like, because I feel like with VR you want to take breaks. So I figured, like, oh, well, after, you know, I finish one section, it'll be like, okay, now go back to the main menu and take a break. But that would also break the immersion. And, I mean, there were points where I know, like, going from location to location, I could have said, okay, now I'm going to take the headset off and I'm not going to play anymore. But I couldn't stop because it was so cool. The only problem with that is that, with that game, it says to you, do you want to play sitting or standing? And I'm like, oh, I'd rather sit. So I selected sitting, and then, you know, tried to fix the control, you know, the headset, and it was like calibrating it and whatever, but it was like, put the headset in the box on screen, and I'm like, that box is above my head, and in order to get my head in that box, I had to stand up, and I'm like, but I told you I wanted to sit down. So I ended up having to play it standing, which in the end was actually a little more immersive anyway, because you're not sitting in the game. Like, some of the games, like, you know, in the ocean dive thing, you're sitting in a cage, so sitting and watching it happen, it's fine. But for Batman, sitting would have been weird, because you're actually standing and doing Batman things. Oh my god, it was so cool. And, like, I jumped when Killer Croc attacked, and I was like, oh my god. And then, like, at the end, I was like, oh my god, I'm freaking out, I'm not going to spoil it in case you play it, but, like, I was like, ah! It was disturbing and freakish and wonderful. It's short, it's super short. I think I played through it in, like, an hour or so, and suddenly it was over, and I went, oh wait, that's the ending? Okay, that was it's an odd little Batman experience. But now you can go back, because there were things that I know in the Batcave that I didn't do, and then I went back into the Batcave to try some of them, and there's still more I have to experiment with, because there's, like, achievements, trophies that you can get for doing things in there. There's a whole bunch of characters I still have to unlock, and you're supposed to play through it again, because now there's Riddler puzzles added to each area. And then I also discovered there was a whole other section of the Batcave that I never went to the first time through, so, like, there's more to do than just playing through the main story. Although playing through the main story is super awesome, and I would do it again, because it's super cool. Also, it would be a little faster the second time, because I would be able to figure out what I was supposed to do at certain points, because there were a couple of points where I was like, what am I supposed to do? Because you're not used to looking around you in 360 degrees, you know, you're used to just, okay, I'm just going to play this. But it's super fun. The one thing that I have not tried yet, because I am a huge pussy, I haven't tried Resident Evil 7 in VR yet. I think I'm, like, maybe halfway through the game now, and a friend of mine was like, oh my god, you have VR now, are you gonna finish Resident Evil 7 in VR? And I was just like, I plan on trying it, but when I start the game, I will be in one of the cozy save rooms, and I said to him, I was like, look, I don't even, like, I'll try it, and I'll have a look around, but I don't even think I'm gonna have the courage to leave the safety of the save room and go outside, because I mean, like, just playing things like Batman and the Ocean game, like, I'm like, it's like, so something like Resident Evil, I'm already jumping and screaming at certain points when they do their jump scares, so I don't know if I can actually handle it in VR. It might be just too much. And so I'm like, I don't know. But I will try it. So, come back next week and see if I've had the courage to try to play Resident Evil in VR. I promise I will try. I will try to try it in VR. I promise to try. And I'll have other things to talk about too, so, I have to go do my laundry, but then I'm gonna go and jump back into virtual worlds again, because they're so much nicer than this one, even when there's sharks attacking you and things. And I will see you back here next week for another round of topics. Bye!